Hi guys, welcome back to Holistic Soul Sisters. My name is Mandy Rose. I'm a holistic health coach, spiritual mentor, and astrologer. In today's video, we're going to talk all about the full moon in Scorpio. Not only is it a full moon, but it's a full supermoon. This is the first supermoon of 2021. Today, we're going to dive into what is the super pink full moon in Scorpio mean. Number two, all the aspects the other planets are making to this full moon and the lessons they're trying to teach us at this time. And then number three, what should you be doing during this full moon to embrace and harness this energy? So let's dive right in. This full moon in Scorpio is happening on April 26th at 11:31 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So depending on where you are in the world, it could actually be happening on April 27th or April 26th. So let's break down all the terms. This is a pink supermoon in Scorpio. What does that even mean? So first of all, a pink moon is the full moon that happens in the month of April. Because in Native American culture, there was a pink moss growing and blossoming at this time. Every full moon in April is nicknamed the pink moon. Now, a supermoon means that the moon in its orbit is the closest that it possibly can be to Earth, making it brighter, bigger, and more illuminated, and therefore we call it a supermoon. In astrology, a supermoon just is like a full moon on steroids. It's brighter in the sky, its energy is closer to Earth, and so the lessons and themes around that full moon are even more heightened. Our emotions are heightened, our intuition is heightened. So whenever we have supermoons, this is a really important time for us to do a full moon ritual. Scorpio is the zodiac sign of transformation, death, and rebirth. It's not afraid to go deep. It rules the subconscious mind. And so when the full moon happens every single year in the zodiac sign of Scorpio, it is a time for us to bring to the surface deep subconscious things. It illuminates, right? Because the sun is hitting the moon, brightening the moon in the zodiac constellation of Scorpio. So we are illuminating hidden fears, hidden traumas, hidden control and power struggles that we have. It's revealing secrets and everything that we tuck under the rug and hide in the back of the closet. The Scorpio full moon brings all of that to light for us to deal with. Now, because the moon is in the zodiac sign of Scorpio, which you can see right here on my chart, that means that the sun is directly opposite in the zodiac sign of Taurus. So we have a pink supermoon, that's a full moon in the zodiac sign of Scorpio. We have to also look at what is the sun doing. The sun is in Taurus. Right now it's Taurus season. The sun entered Taurus on the 20th of April, so it's been there now for about a week, and it's making itself at home. It's at 7 degrees, so it's been in Taurus for 7 days. The sun moves 1 degree every single day through each zodiac sign. So it's at 7 degrees of Taurus. It's been there for 7 days. It started to make its home in Taurus, and Taurus rules the material world. It's an earth energy. Scorpio is a water energy, deals with the subconscious, deals with the psychological, deals with our mind and the deep, deep stuff. And Taurus is very material. It's an earth energy. It rules the material plane, our material possessions. It rules our finances. It rules things that we can touch in our senses and the physical body. So during this full moon, we're having this earth energy, this grounded being on the earth, our stability, our structure, our physical body, illuminating our psychological body, right? The mental and the consciousness and the subconsciousness in the mind. So we're going to be bouncing back and forth between these two themes during this full moon. Now, for you specifically, where this is playing out in your life depends on your individual birth chart. So if you want to go ahead and look at where does Taurus and where does Scorpio fall in your personal birth chart. So for me, for example, I'm a Scorpio rising, which means Scorpio is in my first house of self, making Taurus be in my 7th house of partnerships. So during this full moon, it is a balance between my physical body and the things I do on a daily basis and the way that I mentally and psychologically process myself in the first house and my relationships in my 7th house. So where does this fall in your chart? Put it in the comments below what house Taurus is and what house Scorpio is, and we can see where your balance is at this full moon. This is a great full moon to release any kind of secrets or truths that you've been holding back from yourself or from others. These hidden secrets hold a space there, and we need to release them. Full moons are all about releasing and letting go. So what truths do you need to let go of that you cannot take with you in the future because it's taking up too much energetic space? This this full moon, Saturn is really playing a major role. So let's get into number 2. What are the aspects and the lessons that the other planets are trying to teach us during this full moon? So I'm going to get out my pen here and we're going to talk about the chart that I have behind me. This chart, if you guys have been following my videos in 2021, for all the new and the full moons, I've been drawing the same chart and placing where all the planets are in the sky on this chart and helping you guys make sense of what we call aspects, conversations and relationships that the planets are having with each other, and the lessons they're trying to teach us, because every planet is a life coach to us in a different area of our life. So right here, this line that I drew is the sun over here at 7 degrees of Taurus and the moon at 7 degrees of Scorpio, making what we call an opposition. That's why we have the full moon completely illuminated by the sun. It's directly opposite from each other. Now, if you look over here, there is a lot of energy happening with the sun. The sun is holding hands with Uranus during this full moon. And Uranus is the planet, the life coach of massive transformation, blow shit up energy, change it. I want liberation. I want freedom. I want new. I don't want things to be the same. Like, I just want to overhaul my whole life and create liberation and freedom for myself. And the sun and Uranus are holding hands, and the sun represents our core. So there's something inside of us at this full moon that wants to liberate, that wants to be free, that wants to change things up, that doesn't work for us anymore. Full moons are about releasing and letting go. So there's something in your life that you want to let go of so much. And it's being illuminated by the moon in Scorpio saying, in order to release it and let it go, we've got to dig into that psychological mind. What is holding us back? Why are we afraid? What secrets and truths do I need to bring to the surface to let go of so that I can create change and liberation and freedom in some area of my life? So over here, not only do we have the sun hanging out with Uranus, but Venus and Mercury are all right here. They're all hanging out together. So you have Mercury, the planet of communication, wanting to help us change and shift things. We have the planet Venus of love and values and morals and beauty, helping us want to change and liberate. And then we have the sun and Uranus all over here, right here, shedding their energy onto this moon. So when you look up tonight at 11:31 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at the full moon and it's at its brightest form, the light that you're seeing from that moon is actually reflecting the energy of the sun, of Uranus creating change in our lives, of Venus wanting things to be beautiful, filled with love, and Mercury saying we need to communicate our truths, we need to communicate our secrets, we need to communicate the things in our subconscious mind, the traumas, the triggers, the hidden things, the things that need to come to light so we can make this change. So all these planets are making a direct opposition to the moon. So you can see here, they're all directly opposite. Now, this full moon, even bigger than what I just shared, is making what we call a T-square to Saturn. So we have all these planets opposite the moon, right? And they are in a 90-degree angle up here to Saturn. Saturn is going to be hanging out in Aquarius for the next couple of years. And Saturn has been teaching us to build a new structure and a new foundation for new change in this age of Aquarius. So during this moon, he is having a 90-degree angle. When we have 90-degree angles in astrology, it's forced change. We don't want to change. It's hard to change. It's a hard aspect, a hard conversation, but Saturn is there saying it's time to change. It's time to make those moves and build a new foundation. And Uranus is saying, I want to liberate. I want to be free. I want to do all these new things. And Saturn's like, hold up. We need to do it with structure, right? We need to do it slowly and surely. So because there's a 90-degree angle from the sun, there is then, therefore, a 90-degree angle to the moon. And so we have what's called a T-square in astrology. So it's almost like the energy from the sun and the moon is pointing at Saturn, right? It's pointing. You can kind of see this triangle energy pointing at Saturn, which is wanting to create change in our life with structure and with discipline. And so there's a part in your chart, wherever Aquarius lands in your chart at this full moon, that is the energy pointing towards change right now. So for instance, let's say Aquarius falls in your 10th house of career. That would mean that the sun and the moon are creating this awareness of hidden truths, of hidden beliefs, of hidden feelings, and Uranus and the sun saying, we want change, we want liberation, we want freedom, we want new things towards our career. if Saturn is in your 10th house, right, pointing at your 10th house of Aquarius, wherever Aquarius is in your chart, that's where this full moon, the T-square, is pointing, highlighting, and saying, change here, build a new foundation here. This is where we're going to liberate. This is where we're going to create the new once we get over our hidden truths, once we reveal our secrets, once we let go and shed and release, right? So this is where we need to figure out in our chart, where is this pointing? Let's say it's pointing down towards your 4th house. The 4th house is home and family. So this whole chart would be flipped over in the 4th house here. The arrow would be pointing towards your 4th house. That would mean that you have change coming to you in your home and your family life, right? So everyone's chart's going to be different. So no matter what, the whole theme around this full moon is going to be change and liberation by letting go and releasing and tapping into the psychological mind, and then creating this new structure and foundation as we move forward. So number 3, now what should you be doing during this full moon to be harnessing and embracing this Scorpio energy? Number 1, write a list of things that you need to release that are secrets that you're keeping from yourself, secrets you're keeping from someone else, and I would write it down on a list and burn it. Release it into the universe first and foremost. And then number 2, what I'm going to be doing, if you have your 2021 Retrograde Astrology Journal and you open it up to the full moon in April, which is the pink moon again, you'll see that the ritual that I have put on here is all about releasing our subconscious beliefs, releasing the things that no longer serve us. So I have EPT therapy in here as the full moon ritual for the month. If you don't know what EPT is, it's a type of therapy where you use tapping and affirmations in combination with each other to bring up things that have been holding you back. So you can go ahead and Google EPT for grief, EPT for marriages, EPT for, you can name an activity in your life or an emotion or a situation, and there'll be something that comes up on YouTube, and do a 10-minute tapping therapy to bring things to the surface to release and let go. Another thing that you can be doing to embrace this energy is because Scorpio is such a deep water emotional energy, you might be feeling a lot of heavy, deep emotions coming up. So any kind of meditation, journaling, even drawing or dancing, anything that you can use for your creativeness, because Venus is involved in this full moon, and Venus is our creative outlet. Anything that you can do to release that stuck and stagnant energy. So if you're feeling sad, if you're feeling depression, if you're feeling fear, if you're feeling anxiety, releasing that energy at this time, because it's going to be bubbling up. It's going to come to the surface, and we need to find a therapeutic way to release it with Venus being involved. So painting, dancing, journaling, even coloring in one of your favorite coloring books would be really, really good at this time. And because Scorpio also rules the occult world, the hidden world, the underworld, tap into your inner witchy vibes. If you want to do a spell, if you want to get out there with your crystals, if you want to channel that inner goddess witch, this is the moon to do it, because you have the power to heal yourself. You have the power to transform. Scorpio is the phoenix rising from the ashes, and now's the time to highlight that ability within yourself. We have transformation coming. We have the T-square. We have Uranus liberating us and creating a new world and a new way of us living our lives. And every full moon as we go through this year is going to be releasing a different part of our life so we can get to the change, so we can get to the transformation. So this specific full moon is all about releasing and letting go of the secrets, the subconscious, and those hidden things. If you're going to do your ritual tonight for the full moon, go ahead and post it in our Holistic Soul Sister Facebook group. I love seeing all the rituals that you guys post. I'll be posting mine tonight as well, and also posting my favorite EPT tapping therapy technique that I have found. Retrograde season begins tomorrow on April 27th, with Pluto being the planet that's going retrograde first during this retrograde season. He's going to kick it off on the 27th, and then Saturn and Mercury and Uranus and Neptune and also Chiron, who isn't a planet but is an asteroid that's our wounded warrior and our healer, will go retrograde. We'll have another Mercury retrograde. We'll have a Venus retrograde. We got lots of retrogrades and things to reevaluate for the rest of the year, and I talk all about them in this book. The other thing I want to mention before I wrap up this video is that Pluto is the first planet going retrograde, and Pluto is one of the rulers of Scorpio. So it's very interesting that we have a full moon in Scorpio wanting us to release, and the next day Pluto, which is the ruler of Scorpio, is going retrograde. So not only are we releasing, but Pluto is then saying we got to go back. And Pluto rules transformation and power and manipulation, and also rules our subconscious. So Pluto is going to do a retrograde and make us reevaluate and really dig and dive into these themes in our lives. So it's even more important to release at this full moon, because we're going to go back. Pluto's going to go back for 6 months over these exact topics. So Pluto's kicking off the retrograde season with transformation and saying it's time to do some overhauling. We've had 2 months with no retrogrades. We've had the green light from the universe. So I hope you guys embrace that energy, created new intentions at the new moon in Aries just 2 weeks ago, wanting the new and creating this new astrological year and a new life and a new change in some aspect of your life, depending on your chart and where Saturn is in your chart. That's where the change is happening, where the T-square during this full moon is happening. But retrogrades are here to kind of reteach us a lesson and help us take 2 steps back so that we can let go of more baggage to take 10 more steps forward. So we're kicking that off tomorrow on the 27th. I will be posting a video on the Pluto retrograde, so make sure you check that out as well. And make sure you tune into our Holistic Soul Sister Facebook group. The link is in the description box below for many more themes related to astrology, spirituality, holistic health, and healing. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll catch you in the next video.